The Farlands, a relic lost to time, possibly the greatest and most well-known glitch in Minecraft, an area where Minecraft's code breaks apart the further you go out into the world. This liminal space being in the game until eventually it was patched out in the beta releases of Minecraft, leaving it nearly impossible for anyone to see in person. Until today. Against my better judgment, I decided to go on a quest to recreate the Farlands by any means necessary. A quest to make it so that people could experience this incredible marvel in the comfort of their own worlds. A quest that I spent nearly 2 full weeks of research to make. And from the knowledge I've gained, I've found it. A simple way to recreate the Farlands in any world, letting anyone experience one of the most stunning things Minecraft's code has ever created. This video will show everything I went through, all the trials I had to experience, and of course, detailed and short instructions on how you can do so yourself. So without further ado, this is the story of how I discovered how to make the Farlands in Minecraft. But before showing how this works, let's first talk about why this quest started in the first place. It all began a few weeks ago with a not so simple section in a video I was working on. And believe it or not, the thing this section needed was none other than the Farlands itself. See, I've always been intrigued by the Farlands, and about a month ago I was creating a video about Minecraft's largest things and decided to make a section about them. They're 12.5 million blocks from spawn, which meant they were pretty big. And not really thinking that much about it, I decided to put it on my list, not knowing the trouble that it would cause me. For the video, I needed a version of the Farlands that I could access in modern versions, that being because I couldn't use specific shaders in old versions of the game, and so I began looking around at what I could do to bring the Farlands into modern Minecraft. When trying to find out how I would achieve this goal, one method that I thought of was transferring old world data into new game versions. After all, if I load the Farlands in the beta versions of the game and then load that same world in a newer version of the game, I should be able to access the Farlands in the modern day, right? Well, after trying this method, I was quickly halted in my tracks. For some reason, the Farlands I had generated were completely erased, and trying a few more times, I couldn't get it to work. Turns out that Minecraft's way of transferring world data didn't allow for the Farlands to be brought along with the old world, so pressing forward, I decided to take on a different approach, the second easiest option that I could think of, that being mods. Now, I looked online for a Farlands mod, and of course there were many options, but considering I only use fabric mods, I decided to go for a mod that was compatible with what I currently had, so I downloaded a mod and opened up a world, hoping that the Farlands were now successfully inside my world. Okay, so if I go 12 million blocks out, I think I should see the Farlands, so let's just do that real quick. Okay, where are we at? Further this way. Oh. Well, that's not quite what I'm looking for. Is it just this part that looks weird? It seems like it's not quite right. It doesn't have the holes. Yeah, it has these squares, but it doesn't have the holes. So that's a little bit of a problem. So the mod I downloaded had the huge wall part of the Farlands, but in terms of the genuine Farlands look, it just wasn't there. So I checked a couple other mods, and after one that gave me another wall and a third one that didn't work at all, I was slightly losing my patience. I did stumble upon one in Forge that worked, but not wanting to spend hours looking for the right mods to give it the look I wanted, I opted to give it a rest for the time being. And it was then that I stumbled upon a YouTube video by a person named Wumba, in which he created the Farlands in his world. Now, the video is over 40 minutes long, but not being able to work on my Farlands project anymore, I decided to watch it, and I came across something in the video while doing so, a command that supposedly was supposed to generate a structure similar to the Farlands with world edit. Seeing this, I decided to go into my world to try it, but I was having some struggles. Okay, so I think I put the command in correctly. It's just not working. That's a little bit concerning. Yeah, I didn't spell anything wrong. Well, unfortunately for me, I was unable to figure out what I was doing incorrectly, and not knowing what to do at the time, I felt very discouraged. I tried to replicate the Farlands in 3 ways already, but none of them had worked. After spending so long, I began to lose hope that this was ever going to get done, but I remembered the command that Wumba had used and did some research. Surely I could replicate that using the world edit mod, it had to be possible, and so I went down a rabbit hole, trying to learn everything that I could about this thing, and after another hour of my life gone away, I still didn't understand it at all. All the information that I got from the tutorials were about terraforming and copy and pasting, but amidst the tutorials stood one video, a simple video with less than 2K views, a video about a thing called Farlands noise. Now, I watched this video thinking it may just be the same old stuff, but little did I know that this video would be the key to my success. In it, the creator covers how Farlands noise works, and before long I realized this is exactly what Wumba was using. A command that generated noise in the world. Now, this was incredible to hear, but it was more astonishing that this guy taught me in 5 minutes exactly what I had been looking for. And with the Farlands noise commands shown off in the guy's video, it allows us to genuinely create something akin to the Farlands. So, using the mod that generated the giant Farlands wall from earlier, I was now ready to test the command out for the first time. Okay, so there's that, and then if we... Yo, it actually... Whoa! Okay, that's maybe too big. Is there a way I can make it smaller? Yeah, let's maybe try that. Oh, yeah, that is much better. Okay, I can just make it go like that. Make it go all the way across. I made the Farlands. And with that, I created the Farlands in my world, except not quite. See, although the replica I had made looked somewhat similar, it wasn't quite the same. The Farlands had more rigid edges than what I had created with the Farlands command, but deciding it was close enough for the visual that I needed, I left it as it was and called it a day. That was until I came back. See, I knew I wanted to make a video on how to make the Farlands in Minecraft so that anyone that wanted to could, but making a video on the subject without making a near perfect replica, well, let's just say I wasn't going to let that slide. So, experimenting with the settings a little, I began to make progress towards what I wanted. But something was always off. I could get close with my experiments, but it always felt a little bit too smoothed out. The rough edges that were a staple feature of the Farlands just weren't appearing. So I looked for answers from the noise generation video from earlier, and found a piece of information in which the video creator said that there are actually 3 different types of noise generation: Farlands noise, rigid multi, and voronoi. And seeing this voronoi noise, I knew it was exactly what I was looking for, so I decided to hop into my world and test out a command including it. Okay, so it should be mask equals voronoi. Why does that not work? That's kind of annoying. Okay. I was slowly losing patience again and decided to check the video for answers, but I couldn't seem to figure it out. Until I checked the description. See, the creator of the video had labeled the resources used, and one of them was a Google document covering noise generation. I scrolled through for a bit looking for information on the voronoi command, and came across a section about it. It had a command and how the command worked, and after realizing that the structure of the command was different from the Farlands command, I changed it up and hoped for the best. This command theoretically should work. It looks exactly the same. Okay, wow, that's ironic it started raining. I looked back over it to make sure that I didn't mess up the command somehow, and then noticed that the way I had spelt it was wrong. It wasn't voronoi, it was voronoi. Realizing that the command was off, I put the command in and tried once more. Okay, please let this work. I will be so sad if it does not. Please. Okay, wait. Okay, wait a minute. It's a tiny bit big, but that's exactly what I'm going for. Wait, let me change it up a tiny bit. That is perfect. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. Oh, this took me so long to figure out. I made it. I made it. Finally. I had done it. I had finally achieved what I had set out to do, making the Farlands in the comfort of my own single-player world. For those of you wanting to test this, I left the command I used in the description, and while you go there, show support to the creator that covered Farlands noise. I wouldn't have been able to make this video without the information that he covered. And also check out Wumba for inspiring this video idea. Anyways, with all that being said, I would just like to say thank you for watching, consider subscribing, and I hope I'll see you all in the next one.